Hey CK,
Muska,
Himalayan 450 ownership review. About time?
a long pending one.
Yes. The longer we wait, the more miles you're clocking in. I've kind of stalled at 14,000. You're close to 20,000. The day we decided to do this review, you were on 16,000. I was on 13,000. So it's high time. Good, we are here. Where do we start? Should we start with our background of motorcycles that we had to lay a base for how we came about the Himalayan?
Yes, what you and me had in the garage and how we went ahead with the purchase of the Himalayan 450. But even before that, why the Himalayan 450?
Yeah, I think the garage which we had will describe more about why there is the Himalayan 450 in our garage today. I had the V-Strom 650 and the Himalayan 411. Of course, I dabbled with an Xpulse 200 in between. My primary motorcycles were the V-Strom 650 and the Himalayan 411. Several years of fun, joy, travels, adventures. We'll come to your garage before I go further. What was your garage?
So mine, yeah, the same as yes, had the Wisdom 650. I didn't have the Himalayan though. I had the X-Pulse, heavily inspired by you.
Yeah. Now, what I found in my garage, I think it is similar, perhaps exaggerated more in your garage. There was a gap between the Himalayan 411 and the V-Strom. It's my personal gap. It's a gap which I felt was a little too big. I needed something a bit closer. However, I knew if something comes in between the 411 and the 650, I may end up getting rid of both and keeping the one that's in the middle. That's what happened eventually, anyway. So the Himalayan 450 landed bang in the middle of the 411, which was lacking highway performance. The V-Storm 650 for me was a little too big and a bit clumsy to do what I could do with the 411 or the 450. What about you?
I look at it with a different view, Busky. Yes, you're majorly right when we say we had the the Wisdom 650 and the Himalayan 411, but I had the X-Pulse and the Wisdom, right? So I had a wider spectrum, to be honest. The top end, the highway, the Wisdom 650 was bang there. Yes, a little bit of trail rides en route to my destination, not like go search for it. So the Wisdom was fitting it. The low end, I had the X-Pulse. Amazing fun on the trails. It went to the Himalayas twice. Completely happy with it. But then what I felt was, or what my thought process was, can I have something that is in the middle? Because the X-Pulse is like a 0 to 80 kilometer per hour bike, whereas your V-Storm was more like a 40 to 120, 130 sort of a bike, right? So I was looking for something right in the middle where it can do, okay, if not 0, it can do at least a 20, 30 kilometers speed to say 90, 100 comfortably without breaking a sweat. So that was my thought process.
Yeah, similar to mine. Although the difference between my usage and yours is you commute
A lot.
a lot. Yes, you commute 80 kilometers,
60, yeah.
60
65,
kilometers
yeah.
Monday to Friday. Okay, so that you use the X-Pulse. So for me, I found the V-Strom a little too big and too heavy for some things. So I had to look at the map, see where I was going, and then I will choose the motorcycle according, which is okay. Over the years, today, if we need to get to a nice place, there's a lot of highway to cover. And then being greedy, wanting more, the 411 used to run out of grunt at the top end. However, once we get into B and C roads, 411 is fun. But always a dil mange more, not a little more. I started using the V-Strom less once I souped up my 411 with the Fuel X, the Powertronics, the BMC, the XL rims. There is a video I have put out on the Himalayan 411, the original Muddy Hog 411,
including the RK chain.
the RK chain, aluminum sprockets, quite well modified. I started to enjoy that more. Manage the highways, it could do 100 up to 120, wringing its neck. It could accelerate quite well and quite fast. But that gap was always there in my mind. And then, like I said, I started using the Himalayan 411 more, V-Strom less and less and less. And then we spoke about the Himalayan 450 when we heard rumors about it. And we did a video about that. And we stated our wish list for the 450, what all we need. And funnily, in the background, we had our, I think, the V-Strom 650.
V-Storms, yeah.
Both of them in the background when we spoke about this. So then that's what gave birth to the idea of finding something in between. There were no motorcycles in that segment. In fact, Himalayan 411 opened one little segment there. Then there was a gap. The 450 came in. That is the genesis. And when it actually came out, we saw the specs and I got a chance to ride it. I was part of the initial ride review invitees.
Privileged to ride.
Privileged to ride, yes. I would call it a privilege now looking back more a year and a few months. And of course, there is a video of that also out. And it's one of the most engaging rides I've had and one of the most topics. I spoke a lot. I was by myself. I took a ride, noted down all I wanted to say. I sat and I spoke. And it was one of the easiest things I was able to do. I didn't have to search for words or search for a unique experience, a USP. Everything about that motorcycle worked out. I came back and shared it with you. And as usual, you fell for it, CK.
Yes. I was very jealous seeing the grin go bigger and bigger. So I was keen to explore it.
Yeah, so I decided, okay, this is going to deliver all what I want. Then I won't need the 411. I won't need the V-Strom 650. However, I will not make haste. As soon as the bookings opened at 5 p.m., I don't remember what day it was. I went up to that showroom on Lal Bagh Road, Maverick Motors. I was there at around 4 p.m., sitting there waiting for the booking to open online. I told the manager, punch it. Bang, it was booked. I think I was one of the first 5 bookings in Bangalore.
Yeah, and I think one of the first Casa Brown for...
Yeah, that's an interesting story.
Because I remember the initial lot was all the Hanley Black editions.
I booked the Casa Brown. I wanted the Casa Brown. And then prior to that, I was told the first things that would be delivered are the Hanley Blacks because that's what is available to be delivered as the first lot of motorcycles across the country.
Was it that black paint was easy to make?
No, I think it looks nice with the gold rims. So I probably wanted to make some sort of a visual statement on the road. Then I said, okay, give me my money back. And that scared them. They said, oh no, we'll find the Casa Brown for you. So good on them. It took some approvals, probably because of, to an extent, who I was. Maybe I don't know if you could have gotten away with that, CK, but I did.
I know you are.
Yeah, privileged.
Yes.
So that's when I booked it, and first lot, first delivery. What about your booking experience? When did the fire? I mean, I got it much before. I booked it much before you did.
Yeah, I think I was like, I think if you remember, we had that scheme or some sort of a plan where they say you book before the November 30th kind of
Price protection.
Yeah, the price protection was there. And then I booked it sitting right in your workshop, Big Bear Bangalore workshop.
You did?
Yeah, it was right there when I booked it because I sent the UPI code to your phone and asked, can you, so that I can scan it and pay.
Okay.
So that was it. Yeah, I didn't book in the initial, right on the first day. I didn't do a first day, first show kind of stuff.
But you got it on time or there was a delay?
I wouldn't say a delay because I'd chosen again, the color was chosen by you, the poppy blue. So it really did not matter for me as to when the motorcycle would come. But then it came in pretty early. Yeah.
You bought it at Rajajinagar.
Yes, that's the usual place where I go to, the HSR. I think it's there. It's my fourth or fifth Royal Enfield that I've picked up from there. I mean, like, I am pampered there at Busquets.
They do a good job.
They do a fantastic job. Very, very proactive. I mean, like, they give you very less room to think or to anticipate when the next communication gonna come. It is like point blank. So they say, okay, by the 7th or the 10th, this is what it is. They do it up before the delivery date as well. I mean, like, the entire experience. You made a shot of it. It's out there on the YouTube. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think if there is a delay, if there is something not going as per plan, it is okay. It happens sometime. The most important thing is to communicate that issue, that fact that there is a delay. So communication is key. Good. So yeah, I remember you had a very nice delivery experience. It's a very popular YouTube short reel. It's gone into some 1 million views. I think probably, yeah. It's got some feel good. Just simply because of the fact that it was shot, edited, and posted by me.
Yeah, you're privileged. You're rubbing it in more.
One hit wonder. Hey, every star has got one big fit, right?
Nah, you got much more coming up.
So that's it. That's it. So good, nice delivery experience. Yeah, I had a good delivery experience. Happy. And what do we? What's next? What is next?
I think even before that, Baski, the joyrides that we had with the motorcycle.
We have had a fantastic time. 14,000 kilometers, close to 20,000 kilometers. Where all have you been? The farthest you have been? I think we've been there together.
Yes, we went together, to Uttarakhand, Muntiari.
Uttarakhand, we rode from Bangalore to Uttarakhand, Munsiari, and then we rode to Goa for the motorverse. Then we rode back.
Yeah.
6,000 kilometers?
Yes. It was roughly that 5,800, 5,900 kilometers. Sheer fun, sheer joy, amazing experience.
It did what the V-Strom would have done on the highways.
Yes.
It did what the Himalayan 411 or the X-Pulse, close to what it can do on all the tricky bits that we rode on. Some tricky roads, some heavy traffic, some hardcore UP, MP towns, villages.
Yeah.
It handled the entire ride well.
You're forgetting the treacherous roads when we were up for that glacier. What was the glacier?
Milam.
Getting it. Yeah.
Milam Glacier Road.
Milam Glacier. The road was being done. It was
Treacherous.
riding through the waterfalls and stuff. It was really.
We just wanted to keep going or decided to come back. So that's the longest ride we have done. Apart from that, yeah, once a month, somewhere in Karnataka or just outside of the neighboring state, innumerable number of rides and breakfast rides, of course, left, right, center. There's no count.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and enjoying it. Looking back, or rather, let me say, going back a bit. Once I got the 450, I realized I stopped using the V-Strom 650.
Yeah, you were being unfair to the V-Strom. I understand your point. Lighter weight makes it much more easier for you. You were doing good.
It was parked there and I just used to start it, warm it up. In fact, the battery had gone down to critical level. I just managed that one day. It fired up and I said, oh. And I said, okay, it's time to let it go.
I remember that day.
Yeah, you know. So I let it go and I thought about it. I had a few months to think about it. Will I miss it or not? Do I miss it? Yes, of course I miss the V-Strom 650. Will I change my mind and say I shouldn't have sold it? No, I'm happy I sold it. I wouldn't be doing justice to it. I'm having more fun with the 450.
True. I still have the V-Strom 650.
Yeah, I got rid of the 411 also. So my garage has now got the Gold Star 650.
To ride it.
I've been traveling a lot. Haven't been riding it much. Okay.
So, Baske, as you said, a year now done with the Himalayans. What was your initial, those initial 2 to 3 months, the honeymoon period? It thaws down and then reality starts to strike in your face. How did you take it?
I think I'm still in the honeymoon period.
Oh my God, such a long duration.
I think it's going to be there. For some reason, that motorcycle has landed exactly where I wanted a motorcycle to land, to be where it should be, to do what I want it to do, and to cost what it did, and to cost what it does to maintain. Things like the fuel tank capacity, road clearance, suspension travel, posture, highway performance, off road performance. I don't do any trail riding or any tricky off road. No, I don't. If it happens to be part of the ride I go on, yes, I would traverse, but I don't go looking for a trail on my Himalayan 450. Primarily, it is a touring motorcycle to tour anywhere, to the mountains, to the Spiti Valley, to Arunachal Pradesh, wherever it is. I have been to Changtang recently, Hanle with KK. We rode on the Himalayans. Uh, 20, 30 kilometers of sand, just sand. There is no road, just
Yeah.
sand. And I struggled and struggled and struggled because I did not have the confidence to pick up the pace. Because over sand, we need speed
Yeah.
to stop it from digging in. It's counterintuitive. How can I go faster when I'm struggling when I'm slow? Some reason I managed to pick up some speed. I didn't let the throttle go. CK.
You were holding on to it like
I was
dear life.
holding on for dear life. So many, we were 30 motorcycles. I think after about 10 kilometers, I was probably in 27th or 28th position. I could see the backup truck in the mirror. I said, this doesn't look good for all the talking and showboating I do on social media. So I need to pretend that I was going slowly to take some pictures. Then I said, gas it, boy.
So you became the Hanle Paltar Sita that day.
Oh, Tasi. Once it picked up speed, it is just floating over the sand, and I passed all the riders who, were going past me, kicking sand in my face. And the problem was I was scared to now stop.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I was too scared to stop. I just held on for dear life. And fortunately, after about another 10, 15 kilometers, I saw a regroup where they have stopped the group. So I said, oh, let me keep going. I finally made it there and stopped. I did.
What else after that?
I didn't want to end. I didn't want that to end. I didn't want that to end because I was full of nervous energy. I was having so much fun being on that edge of having a smack of my face on the sand. KK has smacked his face on the sand. He hit one big dune. He was right in front of me. I was busy clinging on for my own dear life when I saw a puff of dust and sand. I didn't know what happened. Then when the sand settled, I saw him. He picked it up, got on, and he took off. It didn't stop him. He was much faster. Uh, so I was just lucky. So yeah, it did. The 450 does everything I wanted it to do. And on the highways, 120, 130, easy to hold with plenty of room even more room to accelerate.
Yeah, 120 jumps into 130s, 140s in no time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a similar experience, Baskid. The only thing is I had to get used to the Himalayan right from the seat, the body posture, the ergonomics. It's a bit different from the V-Storm. V-Storm, the pedals are a bit up. This is a little bit more down. Helps you stand up and ride if needed much more quickly. The wind cutting in, and as you know, my neck is the Achilles heel, so I need to have proper wind protection. So dabbling with that. All in all, I really did not know when the odometer had actually done 5 to 6,000 kilometers. Post that, with all my minor adjustments here and there, was I able to feel comfortable with the Himalayan. So till then, it was more a journey of me discovering the motorcycle, the lever positions, be it the gear lever, be it the clutch, setting it up to myself. Only then I was like, and after that, it's been like, as you said, honeymoon again.
For me, right from the start, I was sick. it just suited me very well. It's like different, like you have very clearly said, it took you some time to actually understand the ergo and the position. I felt at home on this. Everybody may not, but this is my experience. And today, I'm here with that motorcycle, and if I didn't have the 450, if I get a chance to ride a 450 today, I'll buy it again. Or rather, I would stick with that same decision. I would still buy the 450. The versatility of that motorcycle is comfort. For me, the primary focus on a motorcycle is comfort. If I am comfortable, I can ride far. It's got a gas tank range. Let me not call it a gas tank range because
you don't use LPG or CNG.
Yeah, because it is inappropriate. Let me say petrol tank range is about 17 liters, 340. Yeah, at 300 minimum. Let's
300, 325, you start looking out
for a gas tank. So 300 kilometers. I have ridden 300 kilometers non-stop. I've done that a couple of times. Not out of saying I'm going to do it. It's just that I kept riding, and didn't even stop for a tea break for something. I surprised myself. It's not possible all the time. Sometimes it is not. However, this motorcycle made it possible. Initially, yes, there are a few things I wanted to change. The main thing I wanted to change was the seat.
I remember Mr. Ball squash key.
A ball squash key seat. Not comfortable on that seat. For some reason, I think the angle is not great. Kept sliding towards the front. It's not uncomfortable at the front. It's a bit narrow. It's not the right place for me to sit. I would like to sit just 2 inches back. And after some time, I start to slide forward again. Or if I don't slide, my riding pants or jeans are pulled back. Uncomfortable feeling. Once I addressed that, everything was okay. That was the only area which I found was not very comfortable.
Yeah, I remember you went with the touring seats, and then you went with the rally seat.
Rally seat was not available at the start. Touring seat is clearly a step above. Nice cushion. It still got the slight tilt, but much, much better. Rally seat came. I said, let me just give it a shot, give it a try. That's it. I prefer seats that are firm. I don't like that spongy, cushiony seats where I sink in. The reason is when the seat is firm, it doesn't sink. I'm able to change my position very easily without having to really stand up. Off I go completely off the seat and plonk myself in another position and sink there. It takes too much of effort and movement, and I'm not able to do it quickly. Anticipate something, see something on the road, I want to change riding position for some reason. On the rally seat, it's immediate, instant. I can just slide forward, slide back. If I have to do a sideways flip flop or whatever it is, I'm able to immediately move my bottom of the seat to one side. That's not possible on a touring seat or on the stock seat.
Yeah, thanks to you, I went straight from the stock seat to the rally seat.
So the rally seat is something, it is a bit narrow. It stretched out the leg. The knee, the bend opens out slightly more, making it even more easier to ride.
I think it's a bit taller than your stock seat and the touring seat.
855 mm.
That's the rally seat?
Rally seat. Touring seat at the upper end is 845.
Okay.
825 to 845.
Yeah.
The low seat is 805.
Okay.
And that is firm because they had to lop a lot of foam off. The remaining foam, they couldn't make it too soft because people would end up sitting on the seat plate. So they gave it a nice, good, firm foam. So there are only 2 seats I like, either the low seat or the rally seat. The stock seat or the touring seat is a no. So that was the initial thing I had to get used to. And the controls. Little bit. They are the rotary switches and the joystick. The joystick is like sticking a piece of stick into some dough. It doesn't have that.
You're being harsh.
Click. No, it just doesn't have a click. It took the longest time to get used to it.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have The rotary switches, I was always a bit confused, especially when you want to do that dip and dim of the headlights. That was a bit confusing for me. Yeah, the rotary switch took some time. Joystick, I was like fairly okay, quite comfortable within the second or the third week. I just tried out the phone, the Google Cast, whatever you call that, for the maps on the console. I tried that out once, worked perfectly fine, and I saw that the battery drained equally. So I stopped using ever since that. Uh, Apart from that, no, nothing much.
Yeah, initially that was the only
Yeah,
thing.
it was the only thing. Yeah.
I never connected my phone to my. Right now, my phone is not connected to the dash. It's I had the workshop service consultant connect and update the firmware. I haven't connected it. I just don't use it. I have a secondary phone for Google Maps. I have a mount. I just stick it in there. For some reason, the only time I used Google Maps was during that Manali launch. They connected it and gave me the phone with a charging cord in it, and it kept working. Maybe in that temperature, it was the phone didn't. The iPhones didn't overheat. But here, I haven't even bothered to.
Yeah, I would still say it's good, for those last 2 or 3 kilometers that you'd want to find your way through. It's good for that. But if you want to do an entire day looking at the maps, not for me.
And in that initial ownership experience, anything really unusual about it? What did something stand out uh, in the initial ownership? We have spoken about the comfort, the controls, the terrains we rode on, and how comfortable we felt. Anything was unusual, which
Not
caught you
not that I recollect, but
unexpected.
not that I recollect, Basky.
Kala, 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 kala.
Well, that's expected. Okay. It was a bit rude that I felt. The engine, the pulse, the X pulse that I have, that also has a similar
A lot of clatter,
lot
comfortable
of
clatter.
clatter.
Yeah.
So I was like fairly okay with it. But what pissed me off, I don't know if pissed is a very strong word, was Royal Enfield could have done it better. You look at their twins, they're sweet.
Super silent. Yeah, they're quite quiet in
Yeah.
this. Yeah, despite having 8 valves.
Yes. That's amazing. And the same company gives her a 450 single, hard to digest.
Yeah, it is very noisy. Uh, yeah, that is a. I expected it because I was exposed to it a little more than you were in the mountains, in that silence, in that serene environment. As soon as I come to a stop, the first thing I'll do is hit the kill switch because come to a stop, you have something going clack, 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 clack. Stop you. Yeah, that is one thing which kind of got me, which I was a bit concerned about it. And what did we do about it? We will come to that. We will come to the uh, initial issues that we faced and what are the solutions that we found.
Yeah. Initial issues?
So, in that initial ownership, what issues did you face, or what issues did we face?
I didn't face issues. I just faced one issue,
What was that?
the fuel gauge giving way.
Okay, it stopped functioning.
Yes.
What is the problem? Was it this, or was it the gauge itself in the tank?
It was the gauge in the tank.
Under a tank. Okay.
Yeah. So it would show me 120 kilometers to go, but the tank was empty.
Did you run out of fuel?
Twice, but thank God, both times I was in. The first time was on the highway. I was actually heading straight to the petrol bunk. I was right there at the bunk, and before I could go to the actual pump, it gave way. So that was like around a push of 5 to 10 meters. So that's okay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's and look at the second part. I still didn't learn the lesson. I still relied on the fuel console. It was still showing 126 kilometers to go. I thought, okay, I have gas. I came into a workshop. just to have a casual chat with you. There were some minor things done, tightening the chain and stuff like that. So the guy there starts the machine. It doesn't.
There's
It's
no fuel.
Yes. So both times I've been lucky. I was in, I wouldn't make much fuss of it. But if I was stranded, especially on my crazy night rides, yeah.
Okay, that is maybe you didn't pay much attention to the kilometers you had covered. You were totally relying on that gauge. But
Yeah, that you can also put in,
it's the initial owner's preview. Yeah, initial ownership understanding of the motorcycle, how far it can go with what fuel it has got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This happened well within that 6,000 kilometers. I think it happened, I got it replaced when it was like 3,500, 3,500 kilometers. So I was still getting to know the motorcycle. I'm a slow learner, unlike another fast guy like you. So it took me time, Baske.
So the fuel float was changed.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you faced? Any other issues?
No, running like a dream.
Yeah. I had a issue on the day of the delivery. So yeah, took it out of the showroom, 100 meters from the showroom, and the mode change. It is changing modes. Denying. I mean, it says it's changing mode. To change a mode, there is a
Button.
signal that comes on. Then it says cannot change mode.
Yeah.
Try at the next ignition cycle, because on the fly you cannot change some mode. There is something else. Clutch has to be pulled in, zero throttle only then. So it was just trying to change modes by itself. On the first day, you know me. I'm not going to let that ruin my ride, my joy of taking delivery of the motorcycle. It is just a glitch there. Doesn't matter. I enjoyed the ride. I called them and I said, "Hey, Tutti Frutti, your panel is acting up. What do I do? Sir, please come tomorrow." I said, "Okay, cool." So I landed up there. That button had jammed. The M, I think there's a mode on the right side, right? That had jammed. They replaced it. That was the end of that. And they were very apologetic about the whole thing. But like I said, I'm not going to let that ruin my experience.
You could have got 2 million views if you had done whining to the internet than to your dealer.
I want to solve the problem first. If it doesn't get solved, okay, then I will go whining. But then it cannot compete with your kidney sales, CK.
Oh my God. Go back to my kidney, yeah?
So that was one. The second, the noisy engine, the clack, 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 the mechanical clatter.
You want to call it the nice engine, or do you want to isolate it and say pertaining to the head?
I will call it a mechanical clatter. It comes from the head. Yes, it comes from the cylinder head.
Yeah.
Mechanical clatter. I approached them. I said, "Is this?" I said, "It is normal." I said, "Okay, it is normal for this motorcycle, but I don't find it very normal. Is there something you can do about it?" Now, at this point, I will take a small segue into a topic. Many dealerships and many workshops, when there is no solution for an issue, like this clack clack, okay, there is no solution. There were two things they told me. One, this is normal. This is how it is.
Designed to?
It is not designed to, but it has ended up this way. It will stay this way. He said, "Sir, you have ridden the motorcycle a few hundred kilometers in Manali at the launch. Was that any different to this?" I said, "No, it's the same." I said, "Yes, all those motorcycles make the same noise. There's not going to be any change." I said, "Okay. Can you try, since it is a new motorcycle, can you try and check and change something?" I said, "It won't work, but we will, for your satisfaction, we will change something." Now, this is a topic I want to speak about. Sometimes, due to the customers' questions, pressure, they are well within their right to ask, "I want a solution for this noise." Yeah. So they were forthright with me and open with me. "Sir, it will not change. You still want me to do something, change it. I can change the timing chain tensioner and checking whatever it is. We'll do all the checks and give it to you. If it doesn't change, please don't be annoyed." I said, "But will it change?" I said, "No." I said, "But since you have raised a complaint and we have to follow the procedure. We will register the complaint, we will highlight it, we will get an instruction to check it because it's a new model. So there was a time. Today it may not happen. All this may not happen, but since it was new within the first few weeks of ownership, so they had somebody from the factory come inspect all the parameters. They even replaced the cam chain tensioner. All done. Thank you. Clack, 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 clack. I said, nothing has changed. They said, yes, sir. Nothing has changed. So there is a habit among several dealerships just to satisfy. They will change something. Yes, sir, we'll change the cam tensioner. Yes, sir, we will change this component. We'll change that. Customer leaves it and goes saying, okay, he will change it. Now, when the information is we will change it, the expectation is problem will be solved.
Yeah.
But after changing, it doesn't solve. Then the question comes, you haven't changed it. So it creates distrust, mistrust right from that start. It's a difficult situation. There is no wrong party here. Neither the owner of the motorcycle or the vehicle is to blame, nor is the dealership to blame. It's a situation. I don't know how this magnifies. Then the loss of faith.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And this actually plays more on the psychology of people who move into a different brand for the first time in their lives, the new adapters. I get what you're saying, Baski.
So this is an unsolvable problem, sir. It is not a problem. It is a problem. It is making noise. It should not make noise. Yes, correct. But it is normal. It is not more normal. Noise is not normal. Yes, I agree with you. Noise is not normal. But this engine makes this noise. What is it? A character? A characteristic of the engine? The fanboys call it the character. They get accused of being fanboys. What I mean, it makes a noise.
That's where I've been mobbed, Baski.
Yeah.
I've stopped telling people it's a Royal Enfield. It's gotta make some noise to be a Royal Enfield.
Ouch. I start saying that. So this is a very tricky situation for the owner and the dealership and the brand.
Yes.
If it is something that nothing can be done about and it does not affect the performance. The J platform is another example, the Royal Enfield J platform. Under hard acceleration, the BS6, there's a combustion clatter.
I've noticed it.
Yeah, there's a combustion clatter. It's a relatively smooth engine when it is idling and running under gentle throttle. It's got the nice exhaust beat, minimum mechanical clatter. Slam the throttle open, really you can hear that combustion clatter.
For that matter, even in the twins, you do experience it. You do experience it. Like you're upwards of 110, 120, you pull down a gear and then you push it up.
You can hear the clatter.
Yes, you can hear the clatter very clearly. And see, talking of this, I know in my circle, we have close to around 8 or 10 Himalayan 450s. One of them even had the head replaced under warranty.
It didn't go away.
He said is, from 100, it's come down to 75, but it's still there.
So this is,
it cannot run like a Honda. It's okay.
Yeah, it cannot. Anyway, that's a different topic. So this is the segue I want to speak about. It's a very difficult situation sometimes. So coming back, so that was something which was attended to and checked, inspected, all found within parameters, legally correct language. This is our parameter, so many decibels is normal. Yeah, that is okay. It didn't bother me, but I wanted to make sure that it is okay and it will not get worse. Unusual for a liquid cooled engine with that water jacket and all that sound insulation to emit that kind of a mechanical clatter. Especially at idle. It's at idle that we can hear once start to give it a bit throttle.
Yeah.
It's not that the exhaust takes over, but that clack, clack, clack goes away.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever causes it. 20,000 kilometers, the noise is the same.
Unusually low compared to Baski.
14,000, the noise is the same as it was in the first 100 kilometers. So nothing has changed. That's something that I would just not worry about. Third issue I had is the main stand.
I remember.
Yeah, it kind of went a little over. I just couldn't get it off the main stand.
I thought we were going to the gym now.
Yeah, that started only today. So I struggled. It had bent. The stopper was bent. Replaced the center stand with another stand, and the problem was solved. So these are the three. Oh yeah, how can I stop with three? There is a fourth one. One of the indicators started making some noise.
Oh, yeah.
I just go, "Krrr, krrr." There's something wrong with that
Tuning fork inside.
tuning fork. Tuning fork brand is Yamaha. Okay. I said, what is this noise? You're giving me indicator clatter also now. How can I embed this? I said, sorry, sir. This we will change. This I knew it will stop. This is not a characteristic of the motorcycle.
Possibly not made by Harry.
So pull that off, put in another indicator, it was solved. And right through all these changes, I did sweat myself through it. Went there, had a laugh with them, got the job done. They are at peace. I am at peace, and I go about. That's how I go about. Not necessarily everybody must and should go this way, but
It's the same with me, Basky. For me, what I believe is like, okay, it has happened, accept the situation and move on, look for what can be done to resolve it. There's no point in crying over it, painting the town red and going pissing on everybody's social media posts. No point in that.
I don't know. There could be some triggers for getting some people to say such things. Sometimes the solution is not the answer. The answer is acknowledging.
Yeah.
When the acknowledgement is missing, the issue becomes a big issue. Solution is the next step. The first is to acknowledge, accept, respect the feedback, the complaint, and the view. When the first point of contact, the dealership, does not acknowledge, does not show any empathy, and does not make the effort to explain in a appropriate way, most riders will lose their cool. But when it is done properly, it should be okay.
I would just be like, okay, if the dealer A gives me a goalie, I go to dealer B.
In that way, we have a
Bangalore's got how many?
massive choices. I think there are about 25 places one can go.
Simple as that. Yeah. And that's what does in those ways, the place where I go, HSR, I think they recently won an award as well for the customer thing. So, yeah.
I rode the new 2024 end. It's about 1 year later manufactured than my motorcycle. KK bought one.
Yeah. I wanted to check.
So I rode that motorcycle. Everything about it seems a small step above. I couldn't put a finger on what they have done.
Interesting.
They haven't done anything drastic, radical. No, maybe it's also because it's a new motorcycle. However, I found everything about it
Better.
small step. So they probably made some very incremental steps in all aspects of the motorcycle, including how the ride-by-wire felt. It felt different. They haven't done any mapping. I verified. I found out if they changed any mapping. It's probably more to do with the ride-by-wire, the controller, the right and the throttle. They may have made some changes. Probably suspicion.
But it's a very controversial statement that you just made. So, do you think people should wait and buy a product after 1 year?
Yeah, why not? Buy 1 year, wait 3 years, and buy it after 3 years. You'll get the best one. Why wait 3 years? The fourth year, you'll have another one. Why wait 4 years? Wait 5.
I know this was coming.
Oh, I know.
But then, all
The Himalayan has not changed. There has been no revision to version 2. Like typically, there is an experience and expectation, and past experience suggests that do not buy the first lot of Royal Enfield motorcycles. Himalayan is a complete antidote to that theory. It's an antidote to the theory. Yes, the stand issue may not happen now. They would have probably addressed it, but no showstopper issues. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the price today and the price we bought, I'm pretty sure there's a 10 to 15% increment.
There is an increase. There is an increase in price. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what is next? What do we move to next? We can go to modifications, accessories, customizations that you have done on your Himalayan, and why did you do it?
Yeah.
What are the things you have done? What are the installations?
Yeah, I'll go first because my list is shorter compared to your long list. I have the rally leg guard or the engine guard with the sump guard, and the what do you call that? The saddle stays, a top plate,
Rear
So-
rack, top plate,
yeah, rear rack top plate. So these were the
touring screen.
now these were the first things that I got fitted right off the showroom
At the time of delivery.
at the time of not delivery. You can say a week
Yeah. Okay.
after delivery. After that, the touring screen was available. So that was the first thing that I put on. I need to save my neck. So the touring screen came on, and post that was the Fuel X that I put in. And after the Fuel X, it was the rally seat that I had. 15,000 kilometers. The last mod that I did was putting in the BMC air filter and opening the BRAP valve.
Chop the cover, the snorkel of the.
I thought
That
it was the BRAP valve.
Okay, call it the BRAP valve.
Yes. And
It changed the motorcycle vintage.
yes, it changed. It does an easy, effortless 110, 120, stays there all day long. It's crazy now, Pasky, honestly. Uh, yes, I'm not comparing it with your Africa Twins or your BMW S1000 Triple R 4Rs, whatever you have. But for the 450, among the 450 Himalayans, yeah, this runs really cool. 120s all day long, effortless. Initial couple of thousand kilometers, the fuel economy was really, really bad. It had dropped down to something like 22, 23, thanks to my heavy wrist and, the lust for speed. But now I've learned to live with it. I moderate the throttle a little wiser, courtesy my gray hair. It's around back to 25, 26. So happy man place.
Yeah, fuel economy. Now that you touched on it.
Hang on. Before that, I got the cross spoke wheels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cross spoke. I just put it on the rear. I left out at the front. I tell my story later for that.
Yeah, same things. My motorcycle is a work in progress. There is a start, but there is no end. I keep fiddling with it. It keeps changing and changing and changing. Even right now, it has undergone one change, the latest change. Starting at the beginning, yes, I had the rally guard installed. I did not install the top plate, rear rack plate. I had the adventure windscreen. And then, of course, the Fuel X, BMC. The BRAP valve cutoff came much later. But right now, yes, the BRAP valve open, Fuel X, BMC. I got rid of the center stand. I've chopped the rear rack. I'm on a weight loss program, not just me, my motorcycle also.
You can still
Cross spoke wheels only on the rear. I have not changed it on the front because the cross spoke wheels are a little heavier than the stock wheels. Weight. That has a little bit of effect on the overall weight and a little bit effect on the handling of the motorcycle. 9 out of 10 flat tires are on the rear, and it is the rear that is difficult to take out, fix a flat and put it back. So a tubeless on the rear is mighty convenient.
have a slight different take on what you mentioned. For me, it's more like when you go on the trails and stuff like that, or even flying over your road humps, it's the front tire that takes the hit first. The rear just glides over. So I'm okay with retaining the front tire stuck and the rear cross spoke. And as you mentioned, 9 out of 10 times it's the rear.
It's the rear that gets a flat. Yeah, the front stock XL rims are more durable than the cross spoke.
I kind of find it's a bit delicate, the cross spoke, compared to your conventional.
That's the reason why for anything bad roads, off road, spokes, the center spoke wheel is still the way to go.
Yeah.
If cross spoke is the ultimate solution, then Toby Price will be using it in the Dakar. They don't. They still use the spoke that rides down the middle.
Now, I think KTM has tubeless that goes down the
That's a
middle.
patented design. There is a name for that. I think we'll be seeing it very soon on the new 390 Adventure. That's the topic, hot topic today. We will come to that later. Yeah. Okay. Then, of course, the rally seat. Now I'm on a weight loss program. I have a Renthal aluminium handlebar installed. It is 400 grams lighter.
Imagine it whacked when I see it the next time.
I get you one. Okay.
Well, do you?
I asked for two. I got one. The second one is coming in a little later. I got rid of the side, those rails. I think I would have saved center stand, the side rails, handlebar, the rear rack, and all that. Maybe about 6 kilos has been chucked off from the motorcycle CK, and that's a lot of weight. So 196 kilos. Now my Himalayan is 190, I would say.
So you're roughly 6 kilos overweight to the KTM ADV 390.
Yeah, thereabouts. And throttle response, top speed. I'm having more fun on this motorcycle than I've had on any other motorcycle. I think that's also natural. It is not something to do specifically with the Himalayan 450. It is just that every few years, motorcycles are getting better and better and better. So I think at this moment, we are riding one of the better motorcycles for that price.
And to add to that, Busky, as you know, you also rode the V-Storm. I also had the V-Storm. A simple fall would mean months of the motorcycle in the garage, waiting for parts. Forget the cost aspect.
At least parts should be available.
At least the parts should be available. So you have a crash where you dent your tank or you break something. You got to really wait for it. Yes, nowadays they have your handlebars. All of that is kept in stock. But something big happens, I think, like you got to wait. And that's something that I really was very, very wary of, that I'm still being very wary of, which limited me in exploring myself or expressing myself fully on the V-Storm and compared to the Himalayan. I'm able to express myself better on the Himalayan compared to the V-Storm.
So you're taking a little bit of risk, or let me say you're having more fun
Risk.
without being too worried about if I drop it, will it sit in the garage for 3 months?
Exactly.
Unlikely to happen in most cities across this country. Parts are freely available. That is the strength of the brand. One of the strengths of the brand is availability of parts and reasonably priced. Talking about price, availability of parts, are you still running on the stock brake pads, original brake pads, which came new with the motorcycle?
Indeed.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? 20,000 kilometers, the Himalayan 450 is still on stock brake pads on the front, stock brake pads on the rear, and it still got another 5,000 kilometers minimum to go. Okay, a little more, but when we get to 25, then we'll come back and talk, okay?
I thought I can stretch it up to 40.
My Himalayan, yes, 14,000 kilometers. I can easily see myself going up to 20, if not more. We've seen Himalayan motorcycles that wear out the rear brake pads in 4,000 kilometers.
Possibly that they're using the They forgot that they have the footrest and using the brake as a footrest.
Or they forgot they have a front brake. Yeah, this is something to do with the riding technique. I will not call it a mistake or a error or something wrong. I will just say change the riding technique, rely more on the front.
Mm.
Motorcycles, anything outside of the commuter segment, the 100, 110cc, 125cc, beyond that, once the motorcycle gets beyond 150 kilos, please, front brake is the way to go. And today in that segment, that weight, that cc, ABS, or I think ABS is mandatory on front ABS is standard, right?
Yeah.
Single channel is
Single channel.
uh,
Yeah,
mandatory.
single channel is mandatory.
So if brake pads can last that long, it's not that CK rides slowly or I ride slowly. Not that we don't brake. Of course, we do brake. Now, 20,000 is a lot. Okay, so he just can't be riding it without using his brakes. No anticipation, using the gears, rolling off, knowing there is a stop coming up, and not riding the brake. These are the simple things. If there are a few things, we will suggest one. When I know I have to come to a stop about 300 meters ahead, there is a red light and the chances of it turning green by the time I get there are not there, I roll off. I do not go all the way 50 meters from there and then slam on the brakes to come to a stop. Roll off, drop the gears, just feather the brake, motorcycle comes to a stop. It's something we have practiced. It's not a technique that we can teach. It's just become a part of our riding repertoire.
Yes. I think a trick code here is Busky and me usually lay out bets. 200 kilometers, we brake 3 times, or we use the brake only 4 times. So that's one of the ways where we both got to ensure we use brakes to a minimal.
Yeah. I mean, tricky. Please don't try this at home. Like they say, that world wrestling, WWF, or WWE, they call it. Yeah, sorry, I'm outdated on that. So please don't try this at home. Yeah, we did that. What do we do? Slam 1, 2, 3 gears down, and motorcycle will slow down. Will it affect the engine or the gearbox or the clutch? No, if it can handle 40 bhp and 40 newton meter of slamming the throttle open, it can handle the braking forces very easily. So don't hesitate to slam the gears down. Abuse the clutch on the downshift. It is okay. It's not going to cause any great damage. It's just that don't play harmonium with it when you're riding. It's the music, or let me say, it's not a musical instrument.
Yes, it's not a music.
Don't confuse a clutch lever for a musical instrument. That's when things go wrong. That's the kind of mileage you get on the brake pads. What other wear and tear item have you changed on the motorcycle, CK?
Nothing. I am anticipating the change sprocket to be replaced.
Couple of thousand, maybe.
Yeah, couple of thousand possibly. I think even the sprocket, the rear is still good because courtesy the cross spoke, I got a
new
brand new.
sprocket.
Yeah. So the existing rear sprocket has done 10,000 kilometers. The front small or the gearbox sprocket has done 20. So I think I will change the front sprocket and the chain, use the rear sprocket old.
Normally, it's recommended to change as a set because there is a characteristic of wear. It wears together in conjunction with each other. Replacing only one to save some money is not the best idea because it can accelerate. The old component can accelerate the wear on the new component and create more noise. So we have seen that only the chain is replaced, a lot of extra noise, and the chain wears out faster when running with older sprockets. So when changing, please change as a kit. Any other items changed other than engine oil and oil filter?
And one air filter.
Yeah, air filter. Okay, that's a BMC. Same here. Haven't changed anything. Any wear item yet. Got a new sprocket with the cross spoke that's running on the motorcycle. Oil filter. No brake pads, no chain sprockets. 20,000, 14,000. So maintenance cost, nothing unusual if and when ridden in an appropriate way. One of your favorite topics, CK. what are the boo-boos on the motorcycle which you think could be addressed in the next iteration whenever, if and when it happens, and why wasn't it already addressed?
Oh my God, you changed the dynamics of the question. I was just thinking of what's the boo-boos that I have, and now you said that can be added to the next iteration.
Next iteration, or why wasn't it thought of at the beginning?
I will split it into two different questions. Boo-boos, the headlight is the biggest boo-boo. That's why I've got the Baja
Now
put
you
in.
didn't speak about the headlight. Oh yeah, we missed speaking about the accessory of the lights, the Baja Squadron Pro. Both of us are running the Squadron Pros because the headlight is a boo-boo. It's no good, like it is in all the LED headlights. Yeah, the only good LED headlight I have found is on the Harley Davidson X440. That has got some good LED lights. I don't know if I can get one and fit it onto this Himalayan. I'm sure it should be possible to do that.
Yeah, after all, it's a male and a female connection because of the back.
Yeah,
The wires.
and it's quite easy to get that connection. CK.
Yes.
Okay, headlight is a boo-boo.
Yeah. I somehow, I still feel the center stand, putting the Himalayan on the center stand
Difficult, right?
and taking it off. I don't know, even after these many kilometers or the 12 months plus, I still sometimes struggle a bit.
It's easier to put the V-Strom 650 on stand and take it off stand than the Himalayan. Yeah, that's something to do with the design. I do not know why it is. That's why I don't even have a center stand. CK.
You made life simpler.
Yes, I only have the side stand. Then next boo-boo.
The next boo-boo, initially I thought it was a boo-boo, the side stand and the
Lean.
vehicle lean angle being a boo-boo. But after having used it on various terrains, I can park the bike on the side stand and walk away without thinking that the motorcycle will tip over, because it's got that comfortable, it's made me feel comfortable.
Planted.
It's planted because it leans more, even with the luggage, without the luggage, be it on tarmac, mixed conditions, rocky terrain, broken roads, no roads. I think that stand actually stands for the Himalayan ad line, made for all roads and made for no roads. So I don't know the exact words, but yeah, that's what the side stand is. I thought it was a boo-boo, but it's not. And that ends my list of boo-boos. 3. Yeah, 3. The side stand's not a boo-boo.
It's not a boo-boo. You thought it was a boo-boo.
I thought it was a boo-boo initially.
I have the similar things on these three. Same thing goes for me. Coming to the side stand, I thought it was a big mess up. Yes, it still takes a bit of effort to get it back up straight. I found when it is loaded with luggage and it is on a down slope, up slope, side slope, whatever kind of slope, I can just drop it on stand and go away without having to worry whether I put a stone under the wheel or make sure it's in gear. All that is not required. It's just immediate. However, yes, if the lean can be reduced a little,
And now we are
it'll hand. I must. I cannot support everything, CK. It will look suspicious. See, take it up. See. It's unfortunate that generally appreciation is looked like a secret agent. Criticism is looked like honesty. Yeah, doesn't matter. We will speak what we speak.
Yes.
I found another boo-boo apart from those two. The center stand, the headlight. The mud splash onto the headlight and the windscreen. When riding in the rain,
Yeah.
the water and the mud gets thrown forward and then gets kicked up by the wind, the moving vehicle, and it lands on the headlight and the windscreen. There has been a hack for it. There is a mudguard extension on the front mudguard at the bottom, the rear.
Mm-hmm.
Some fine gentleman has got a piece of that and stuck it on the front end of the mudguard also. Not the beak. I'm talking of
The inner mudguard.
the inner mudguard, the one on the tire. Problem solved. I just came to know of it recently. I do not remember the gentleman's name. He sent me the hack he has done, and he said, "This works, Bosky. Why don't you try it?"
So you have a flap in the rear, you have a flap at the
He
front.
said that stops. Do not bother with the beak. It is this. It is from here. It gets thrown. This stops it. So I'm going to get myself that extension. You want one? I'll get you one. Anyway, you don't need lights. You don't need anything. So you ride anyway. So it doesn't matter.
The look, Bucky, the look.
It's subtle. Can't make out.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just subtle. Looks good. I think the trade-off between that little bit of odd look for the returns, the benefit it provides, it is worth that loss of a little bit of aesthetic.
Okay.
I found that as a boo-boo. And the biggest boo-boo of all this is the seat. I do not know why the stock seat is not designed in a way that it can be comfortable.
Yeah.
Why does it have that slope?
RE shares have gone up to 5,054.
Because of the sale of additional seats?
Partly.
These are the boo-boos in that motorcycle.
Yeah, seat I did, but somehow it didn't hit me that much. The reason for the rally seat was more for better ergonomics. I prefer a taller seat.
Yeah, I was struggling more with the seat than you did.
Yeah, so for me that was more the driving force. But I get, yes, every butt to their own. Each man's butt to their own.
Yeah, be precise, CK. Don't confuse the butt and the man.
And the second part that you mentioned, Busky, what are the likely things that you would want to see on the Himalayan coming out? I have a long list. I'll start out with a aluminium swing arm, an aluminium subframe, a lighter, it can be even in plastic, but a bigger fuel tank.
As an accessory.
25 liters or 28 liters or 30 liters.
What, you want to supply fuel to Mysore or something from Bangalore?
Imagine, Busky.
You don't have to stop for 600 kilometers.
Yes.
You are what? Not.
But seriously, yes. Okay, 30 is outlandish. I was just
22, 23.
22 to
Another 5
25.
liters more.
Yeah, another 5 to 6 liters more. Convincing 400 kilometers with some fuel left. Happy man.
Amazing list, CK. You have proved finally that you are smarter than me.
Oh my God. Seriously? Before the GTA 6 came out?
What is that? I keep reading that in the comments. You read in the comments. I don't know what it is. It's a game. I think it's a it's a game.
I know it's a Grand Theft
Auto.
but I don't know what is this version 6. Anyway, we will.
I believe it's at version 5. So people are.
If you know it, please list it down.
GTA 6. I think it is like waiting for Himalayan version 2. Yeah. So people waiting for GTA 6.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So same list I have. Imagine an aluminium swing arm, aluminium subframe, and a bigger capacity tank. All these can come as an accessory.
Yes.
It probably costs 40,000-50,000 rupees more.
It's okay.
That's the value. 10 kilos lighter.
Yes. Imagine, Busky.
190 kilos. Then my Himalayan will weigh 180 kilos.
There you go. And me with all my, what do you say, with the accessories and all that stuff, would still be 180C.
Luggage. What luggage do you carry?
Simple.
For all your trips thus far.
Okay. Segment advice. Simple overnighters or 2 nights. I have the waterproof bag.
Tail bag.
The tail bag. So I use that. I'm happy with it. I think it's like 22 or 24 liters tail bag. When it comes to the Uttarakhand ride, I was having a bigger tail bag of 35 liters. Again, waterproof. Happy with it. You are more sorted that way because you're very clear.
You travel lighter than me, so I'm getting there, but I don't think I would get to your light packing. Initially, I had put the pannier frames and the Krega OS platforms. You might have seen some photographs, some reels with me with those Krega OS 32 bags. Lovely luggage. I got it out of my V-Strom 650, those bags and the platform. I have done a couple of rides with that, really enjoyed it. And then, like I say, my constant endeavor to lighten the Himalayan, I decided I'll get rid of that. Because those frames were add-on weights. I got rid of that. I got rid of the Krega luggage. Now I run the rackless bags from Raw Gear. I have that this thing. And then I have a tail bag. So depending on how far I am going, I do that. Of course, I have a tank bag with that universal tank bag. Strap it on, hook it on, and keep it. So a tank bag, a tail bag, two different capacities, and I have that saddle bag, a rackless saddle bag. Soft luggage, like we always say, no more hard luggage. We are done with hard luggage, and especially now that fact that I have cut off the tail, I don't have anywhere to put tail bag, so I have to put it on the rear seat, and that's what I used on the Uttarakhand trip.
Yep.
And you were asking me, is that all, or is there a truck coming behind for your luggage?
Yes, I was actually surprised, Posky.
See, an old dog can still learn some new tricks. CK.
You're an old dog, though.
You don't know. You haven't seen me yet at fully. Yeah, that's the luggage we carry. What is the fuel economy you've been getting in whenever you use it in the city on the highway? A quick.
Yeah, on the highways, I've gotten up to 20. Okay, I'll start in a phased way. Just the Fuel X. Before the Fuel X, it was 33, 34. With the Fuel X, it was 31, 32. Fuel X and the BMC, it was around 29 to 30. Fuel X, BMC and the BRAP valve, it's come up to like 27, 28. So that's how the mileage has been. City, I don't ride it, Paskir.
Yeah, I don't ride in the city, but I think it's around 23 to 24, whatever little riding we have done. 23, 24 in the city, 28 to 30 on the highways, depending on the type of highway. Bigger highways, higher speeds, yes, it drops down to 27, 28. Slightly slower highways where we cannot do much more than 100, 110. There we can get close to 30. This is the fuel economy that we get. Maintenance cost we have covered. Nothing much. What else? What's the final verdict? What would you rate the motorcycle? And what would you rate your ownership experience thus far out of 10? 2 parameters only. And why do you rate what you rate?
Oh, we're already at the conclusion.
Yes, we are. We are happy chappies, CK. We don't have much to bitch and moan about.
Okay. So for the motorcycle, if I have to do the academic rating, yeah, I think the motorcycle for me has been a good 9. Yeah, just one part giving way and the engine clatter taking some sheen away when I stop. Apart from that, yeah.
So you're rating it 9 on 10, and that it's losing out 1 mark because of the refinement.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And your ownership experience, 1 year and 20,000, how would you rate it?
It's been great. It's been really awesome.
What
I
did
just
you
had to look back.
Rating.
Rating. What's there in rating a 10 out of 10?
Nothing there. You can.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it is 10 to 10. Yeah, because see, as I said, the couple of times when I was stranded, it was not an actual strand, so I'm not going to hold any grudges for it. I don't know if I was lucky or the bike was lucky. It stopped right there. So it's been nice, Busky. I will not complain. Even for the, see, I'm a bit finicky about the service schedules and all that stuff. The routine maintenance that comes in, be it the fork overhaul or the valve check and all that stuff. I mean, like it's running like a charm. I don't even need to check it. So the owner experience has been a good 10. I haven't had a single puncture. Can you beat it? The nail has not read my machine.
Oh my God. We need to set some remote control nails on the road.
There you go.
Good luck. Stay that way. I would say my ownership ownership experience, I would say, is 8 on 10.
Oh my God.
Yeah. On the 2 points are because of those warranty issues that I've had. 4 issues.
Baski, now let's look at it this way.
It's okay, but I've given it 80%.
Yeah. See, it's okay. The parts failed. Will you put in undue stress for those parts to have it replaced? Do you go through some emotional drain to have those parts replaced?
I never go through any emotional drain for all of that.
Why it failed? The system worked. It was a good way for you to check the system. Why are you looking at the negative? It just failed. I'm going to give it 8.
I'll give it an 8.
If I were you, I would say like, yeah.
No, but you weren't me. But you gave it a 10 on 10. Or rather, you aren't me. So I'll give it an 8 because it loses the 2 points because of those four warranty replacement. As a motorcycle, for the purpose I use it for, what I want to do on it, 9 on 10 as a motorcycle. It does more than what I expected. It is rewarding. It's rewarding. Every area, every aspect of the motorcycle, bar that engine clatter, the mechanical clatter at idle, in every area, in ergonomics, in comfort, acceleration, suspension, braking, long distance comfort, fuel economy, tank capacity, maintenance costs, dealer accessibility, parts availability, the kind of roads I can take it to. It has exceeded the expectations I had. I had lofty expectations, mind you. When I took the test ride in Manali, I was singing all praises about it.
Yeah.
It makes me look better than I actually am as a motorcyclist.
Why 9?
Nothing is perfect. CK.
Yeah, I know. The motorcycle.
And what will make
I think I have a small tip here
Yeah.
for you to get it from 9 to 9.5. So you're approaching a traffic signal, pull in the clutch and turn off the engine. You will not hear the clatter.
But then I have to replace the brake pad, CK.
No.
So I give it a 9 on 10 and 8 on 10. I am super thrilled. I'm super happy I bought this motorcycle. Refreshing, exactly what I wanted from a tourer, which can do any road that is thrown at it. On the Hyderabad highway, I've hit full throttle, leaned for, under the bubble, and I know what speeds I have touched on that motorcycle. And I have gone crawling in half clutch in some tricky terrain in the mountains and still felt safe and comfortable. The Changtang ride was a rental motorcycle. I didn't take my motorcycle and go. It was part of the package. A rental Himalayan 450. There were 30 rental Himalayan 450s. 30 different type of riders. There were young ladies and there's old foggies like me also. Tough ride. Hardly any tarmac. Only when we are coming back to base, we had some tarmac. Otherwise, this is a pure exploratory ride. Hanle, Pangong So, Somoriri. On terrible, treacherous roads. No breakdown. No puncture. No bent wheel or rim. One Himalayan, it had a problem before it came in. The cooling fan.
I remember that.
Yeah. It had a broken blade for some reason. It probably due to some impact or dropping it into the water or whoever did it. It had a problem at the beginning itself. One broken blade will lead to imbalance and it destroyed the blades. So that was a pre-existing condition. They got another fan and they replaced it. Oh, no, I think they replaced the motorcycle. They got another motorcycle from the rental agency. From a beginner rider, a young lady who is 5 feet 4 inches or even less. I would say 5'2", 5'3" maybe. She was riding that 450. The group leaders, skilled, trained, good riders were riding the 450s at their pace. So it is not just my experience and my ownership and your experience. That trip demonstrated so much about this motorcycle. Nothing is bulletproof, CK. Things can go wrong. What do they say? Rim is bent and that happened, this broke down. Can you imagine 30 motorcycles? Yeah. Rental motorcycles which had already run between 2 to 6,000 kilometers and 30 different riders taking it through the terrain, through water crossings, boulders, stones. And there were some stones and my head and teeth were wobbling there on some of them when I hit them.
Nothing fell off?
No, nothing fell off. A filling flew off. So I had to go back to the dentist. And some dropped the motorcycle in the crossing because of a slip. Or there's so many drops. Several falls. Back up. Nothing bent. Handlebar slightly aligned. Hold it. Wrench it back in because it's got that rubber mount. Put it back in place. Ride on.
Baski, an out of syllabus question for you.
Oh my God.
You run a workshop.
Yes.
You have had quite a few Himalayan 450s as well come in for repairs.
Yes. Maintenance. I will not say repairs.
Okay. For maintenance, what was the most trickiest one?
Nothing we couldn't handle. Nothing we couldn't handle.
It's an easy machine to fit them.
Nothing has gone wrong. If it hasn't gone wrong radically in the first 1 year, wait. I know what some of you are asking. What about the chassis braking? I know you'll ask that question. When are these two jokers going to come to that chassis all the way at the end of the video? Yes. We make sure you watch everything and then we come to this. The most interesting juicy bit is always in the middle. Oh, no, at the end of the fruit. Oh, no, sorry, the middle of the fruit. Yeah. So, as far as I know, there have been 3 incidents of.
I thought there was another fourth one, I guess.
That is the third one, the recent.
The third one, that's the recent one? Okay.
I know of 3.
Okay.
2 were right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Both have been established, having been caused by improper, incorrect installation of a crash guard.
Okay, rather than the crash guard, I think it's going to be more
during the installation of a crash guard, the fasteners were not installed properly. So yes, installation of crash guard involves the engine mounting fasteners. So whatever the crash guard, whatever, doesn't really matter. What matters is that particular fastener. Now when guard is installed, it changes the dimensions there. So a longer fastener would be required. In the Royal Enfield crash guard kit, there is a longer fastener, there is a different bush. It comes as a kit. Some outside may not come with that kit, even if it doesn't require that kit. So installing a crash guard on the Himalayan involves removing and reinstalling some mounting bolts of the engine. Incorrect, improper installation of the bolts has caused this failure. 2, initial stage, which blew up like anything. And recently there is something circulating. It has happened. And if you watch that and listen to that real closely, I think there is a mention that the bolt only wasn't there at that time when they realized that the frame is broken. So if an engine mounting bolt is going to fall off, the chassis will break. Going back a little, why did it fall off? So there was a guard that was installed or removed or something was done. So it is not about the guard.
It's not about the
It's
guard.
about the right installation of the fastener at the mounting point. So that's about it. It's a clear thing. Yes, it makes news. It is something that should not happen. But if somebody is going to mess around with an engine mounting bolt, do we expect anything else, CK?
They'll end the gold.
So As a owner of the Himalayan 450, these 3 known incidents of the frame cracking in the same place because of the same problem, does it cause you any concern?
Nope.
There you have his answer. The same thing with me. Does it cause a concern? No. Because I am aware, I have been made to understand with data as to why this has happened. So I am convinced that there are certain reasons why it has happened, and that is not going to happen to my motorcycle. So the chassis crack is completely out of my mind. I continue to ride the motorcycle like I always do.
Same here, Basky. Just that once in 10,000 service kilometers that I get it done, I ask them to fasten the engine mounts.
Check them.
Retorque it if necessary. Otherwise, please don't touch it.
Simple. I have installed a Royal Enfield Rally crash guard, removed it. I have installed an auto engine crash guard for some time and I have removed it. So I have tampered with the engine mounting bolts multiple times. I'm still enjoying my ride. So a proper installation, follow the guidelines, follow the torque procedure, and there is no issues. That's about it. So I don't lose any sleep over it. Neither does CK. Now, I am not in a position to tell you whether you should lose some sleep, you should not lose sleep over it. Should you worry? You shouldn't worry. Will it happen? Will it not happen? I don't know. All I can say is, I am not concerned. Would I buy a Himalayan today? Another one? Yes, I will buy. Will I let that engine, that chassis crack issue worry me? No, I will not let it worry me. Another issue we should address also is there are some cases of the cross spoke wheel, the spokes cutting. Yes, there have been cases of this, instances of this, and they have been replaced under warranty. Why it cuts? Should not cut? Yes, they shouldn't cut. It cut, but is being replaced under warranty. I know an acquaintance who had this issue. The wheel has been replaced under warranty, and it cut again, the second time, again replaced under warranty, and now it's okay. So maybe it is something to do with the installation, assembly of the wheel or something, which probably will get corrected. So these cross spoke wheels are for touring purpose. I don't think they are meant for some really aggressive riding off road. Well, the ones that broke, maybe never went off road. Maybe it is on the road. Possible. I am not making any calls on that particular thing, and that is the reason why both CK and I run the cross spoke only on the rear. We run still running the stock wheel on the front.
And this cross spoke is not an issue pertaining only to the Himalayan. The cross spoke, if I remember right, I initially saw it on those BMW GS 1250s, or I think even the 1200s. And there were a couple of issues that were the couple of bikes that had these issues. So the cross spoke technology, if you were to ask me, I still feel it's a bit delicate. One of the reasons why I wouldn't want to do harsh off-road with that. The front wheel, I'm happy with it. Simple.
Yeah, it's made by there are only, I think, there is only one or two companies who make that cross spoke. Yeah, this is a GLM. It's a Chinese company who also makes for BMW, who makes for so many other motorcycles. Yeah, that's a whole different topic. Yeah, winding it back. Good ownership, happy experience. I am happy and I'm glad that I bought the Himalayan, and I have done 14,000 kilometers, enjoyed every kilometer, and at this moment, that is the motorcycle I see myself using in the foreseeable future.
What's next?
Always something coming up, CK. There's always something coming up. Overall, that's our experience. If there are any questions you have or some areas where we haven't addressed, which we might have missed, please ask in the comments and we will do our best to respond. Thank you, CK.
Thank you for calling me over.
Keep riding. Be safe.
Yeah, that's more important. Keep riding.
Enjoy your rides. Motorcycle is secondary. Enjoy motorcycling.
Yeah.
Thanks.